Hey, what's going on, Renaissance Lifers? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, Renaissance Life TV is the channel for personal growth and success with a different perspective on navigating life and relationships. On today's show, I'm talking about how to throw a good get-together. What does that have to do with personal growth? So a big part of personal growth to me, and one of the important aspects that I think is important to talk about, is the social aspect. And part of being social is being able to throw a good get-together or a party. So today I want to talk about what the elements are of a good get-together and how to make your next get-together a success. Okay, so it goes without saying that in order to throw a good get-together, you've got to plan. I've gone to a couple get-togethers where I wasn't sure whether or not the host or the hostess actually planned the event. It kind of seemed like it was a last-minute thing. And generally speaking, if it is a last-minute thing, it'll feel like a last-minute thing. So it's worth planning. Now, how do you plan a good get-together? A lot of that has to do with who's coming, what the season is, what type of event you're trying to throw. Is it a theme? Is it around the holidays? Just kind of take into consideration what your goal is with this event. If your goal is for people to talk, then you want to plan things that will engage people in talking and mingling. If your goal is for people to have fun, then you want to plan fun things. Think about what would be fun for you, what would be fun for other people, and what can be easily executed at a get-together or a party. So what is your goal? How do you get there? And that's how you'll plan your party. Now, another part of planning is what are you going to have for people to enjoy while they're there? For instance, are you going to have food? Are you going to have drink? Are you going to cater it? If you don't have the money to cater it, how can you get food on a budget? And there are a ton of videos online on YouTube about how to cater or how to get food for a party on a budget. And so when you talk about food, you want to think about whether this is going to be indoor and outdoor get together. You know, whether you're going to do barbecue, which might be cheap, or you're going to have hot dogs and burgers, coleslaw and potato salad, or is this going to be an indoor get together? You know, are you going to cook something? Is it going to be something fun? You know, are you going to do it potluck style where several people bring in dishes and you can kind of assign out dishes based on a specific theme? Maybe it's going to be a Mexican night. Maybe it's going to be an Italian night. So you can kind of make it fun and kind of incorporate themes in order to plan out what your food is going to be. But food is a huge deal. You don't want to have people come to your get-together and have them be hungry or don't have drinks or things for them to drink in general. Okay, now the next huge thing to throwing a good get-together is being a good host or hostess. Now, what does that mean? To me, if you're a good host or hostess, you're paying attention to detail. You're being intentional about what's happening at your get-together and what's happening at your party. This may mean stepping in. This may mean facilitating conversation, facilitating meetings and mingling. And that's a huge part of what I spend my time doing at a get-together, is actually helping people make connections and make relationships. Breaking the ice, for instance. And so that goes a really long way in helping people at your party or get together feel comfortable, because that's really what you want. You want people to feel comfortable. Some of the ways that you can do this and accomplish this is by playing games and having games set aside. At a party or at a get-together, it's not the time to be shy as a host or hostess. If you're trying to get people to interact and to mingle and have fun, you've got to be interactive, you've got to mingle, and you've got to have fun. If people generally see you having fun, they'll start to have fun as well. If people feel that you're loose, that you're having fun, that you're just flowing through things, then they're going to feel comfortable being loose, having fun, and flowing through things as well. If you as the host or hostess are stiff, then generally speaking, your guests are going to be pretty stiff as well. So they kind of take their cues from you, especially if they're in your house or in an event that you're planning and that they know that you're the host or hostess of. Now, some people might think that playing games is lame, or maybe that's something for kids to do, but believe it or not, playing games can be one of the most fun things you can do at a get-together, even as an adult. I think so many times we forget or don't think about the fact that adults really want to have fun too. They want to let loose. They want to find their inner kid, and there's something really fun about that. You can play games like Mafia, or you can play icebreakers like Two Truths and a Lie, or Never Have I Ever, or different things like that. Actually spend a few minutes looking up games online and seeing how to execute them. Try something different, fun, something that people haven't tried before. Be ready to explain the rules of the game and get everyone excited. One of my favorite games that I play sometimes in get-togethers is a game called Chubby Bunny. And what Chubby Bunny involves, there's a physical element to it. So you have marshmallows, and so it's actually a competition between two people or two teams. And the goal of the competition is to see who can stuff the most marshmallows in their mouth and still be able to say Chubby Bunny clearly. Now this game is hilarious because not only are people having fun, other people are judging and seeing whether or not they can hear people say Chubby Bunny clearly. And it's really hard to do with marshmallows in your mouth. Sometimes people are super competitive, they might have marshmallow falling out of their mouth. So just be prepared, have a plate, paper plate or something for them to be able to drop marshmallows, or a plastic bag or something, so that way they don't get a mess all over themselves. But that game has been super effective at breaking the ice and just having people have fun and do something different and outside of the box, even as adults. And if it goes well, make sure to give me the credit. Now, while it's really important for you to have a plan when you throw a get-together, it's also important to go with the flow. You also want to gauge the crowd. See what people are enjoying to do. Maybe they've started a conversation and really are having a blast. People are laughing, people are having fun, and you have a game planned. That's not the time to introduce a game. The game is really to facilitate conversation, to facilitate mingling. If people are already doing that and really having a good time and are really engaged, you don't want to break that chemistry. You just want to be able to sprinkle in things to help continue to move that conversation or flow from subject to subject or topic to topic. So it's really important to go with the flow. I've been to a couple get-togethers where the host or hostess was so uptight and they were so bent on everybody doing exactly what they wanted to be done at the party, and that's not fun for anyone. No one really wants to be dictated what they have to do at a party and when they have to do it. So be very careful about introducing things. Make sure everybody's on board. Hey, would you guys like to try a new game? Or I was thinking we could try this game, or let's do a little icebreaker to break things up. And if you guys want to do something else later, or after, that's perfectly fine. And when you finish a game, ask people, you guys want to play another game, or you guys just want to chill and relax? So make people feel like they're a part of the decision making and what happens. If you're gonna do a movie night, for instance, and that's your get together, make sure that people have a choice on what movie they want to watch. So maybe everybody brings movies, or everybody has some movies that they already want to see, and then make it a group vote as to what movie we're gonna choose. On my last movie night, a ton of the fun was just in finding the movie and finding out what people like, what crazy things people are into, and the idiosyncrasies between couples, and one pair of the couple usually falls asleep during movies, and whenever they go to the movie theater, and the other one watches movies through to the end. So that's a ton of fun in itself, but it really helps you to get to know other people and help people feel involved. Alright, so the last thing I'll say about how to throw a good get-together is to stick to what works. Listen, if you see people doing these things, or particular things, or having drinks, or having food, or playing icebreakers on a regular basis, it's probably because that works. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Chips work at parties if they're really relaxed parties. Hors d'oeuvres work at really fancy parties. There's a reason why those things work. There's a reason why chicken or hot dogs or burgers work at barbecues. You probably don't want to have an oven roasted turkey at a barbecue. You probably don't want to have spaghetti for the food at a barbecue, because it just doesn't work. I would say stick with what works. Find out what makes a good party, what makes a good get-together, and replicate it. But in general, you want to stick to what works and not try to reinvent the wheel too much. Maybe introduce one new thing each time you have a get together. Alright guys, so I hope that gave you a better idea as to how to throw a good get together. It's such an important part of social skills and your personal development as well. It may not seem like it, but that really goes a long way in building relationships. You know, if you've met a new colleague or if you met a friend and you bring them over and you have a get together, maybe between a few couples or a few people, that will go a really long way. So I hope you found this video interesting. If you love this kind of content and want to see more of this, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, and let me know in the comment section below. How do you throw a good get together? Or if you've been to a really good get together or a party, what made it good to you? What was that one thing that really stood out or made it that fun for you? And until next time, I'm wishing you health and happiness. Cheers.